Your cleaning business page can be more than a social CV. It can become a media asset that makes you a lot of money. It can literally become the leverage through which you start making a lot of income besides the cleaning itself. Now, in this class, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 content strategies that if you follow, it can actually transform your content game. And I'm going to leave the best for the last, which is storytelling. Is a whole lot of thing on its own. Like, is a whole chapter of thing on its own when it comes to storytelling. But I'm going to do my best to break it down as fast as possible, right, within this class in itself. So I'm going to be leaving it for the last because it's going to require us to put another thing on the board. So let's start with the little ones, not little in per se, right? So we have the hook. Like, what made you stay? As soon as I start this video, I've already filtered a lot of people out. People that do hairdressing, people that do skincare, people that do any other thing would not be watching this video because I said your cleaning business page can be more than a social CV. It can become a social. Like, I called you people out. Or I can start with, if you're a cleaning business owner. Now, cook are not limited to verbal. They can also be like visual. It can be me pouring water or doing something, moving around. That is hook. So it's a whole game on its own. There are people that on YouTube, the whole thing they teach on a whole YouTube video is hook, how to create hooks. So it's a whole content game on its own. Now, what I would advise is that look at people that you love to listen to, all those content creators that you love to pay attention to their hook. The first statement they say, the thing that made you stop. Maybe somebody is doing something in the background. Anything that makes you stop, maybe the text on the screen, anything that makes you stop to listen is a hook. You have to master your hook as a cleaning business owner. And this is where knowing your target audience comes in. If I want to create content for mothers like busy moms, I can say being a mother is, or I can say as a mom, whatever. Now, mothers are the most, I like anything I say literally calls them out. And this is why you need to know your target audience. You need to always know who you are speaking to. You guys, I used to always say this. I don't know. Some of you still don't know your target audience up till now. Now, I think I have a video on how to create your target audience on YouTube. Maybe mine or any other person's. You can go and watch on how to create target audience. This will make you understand or know how to create your hooks to call them out. Now, there are different stages to hook, right? There's maybe call out, there's verbal, visual, there's verbal, there's a lot, right? But you need to understand your hook and master your hook. This hook is like the packaging, just like we have thumbnail. When you see YouTube videos, the thumbnail will make you click, right? You see, when somebody package rubbish and package it, you say, I like the packaging. Hook is your packaging. Now, next, we are looking at agitate the pain. Now, this is like a content body, right? When you started talking, you've mentioned the hook, right? They're already gripped. Now, you don't just let them fall off there. You want to say something that agitates the pain. For example, if I want to tell you about cleaning calculator, I can say, if you're a cleaning business owner and you've been having ups and downs with charging, or you've been taking jobs and you've not been making profit, I will start mentioning all this thing, mentioning all the pain. I'm agitating the pain so that you say, hey, it's me this guy is talking to, I'm the one she's talking to. Do you understand? Next is authenticity. Now, I'm being myself. You cannot be watching this video and say I'm not myself. I'm not stressed. I'm not feeling anything. I'm myself, literally. Because I can even see myself in the mirror. That's why I changed this position, right? You guys know the position was the other way around. So I can see myself in the mirror. So I'm pretty much myself. I'm relaxed because I know I'm talking to fellow human beings, fellow people out there. What people do, I'm not afraid of you people. So you have to be authentic. You have to be your most authentic self. Like, there's nothing to be like anxious about. Calm down. You're speaking to your fellow friends out there. Calm down and do these things authentically. Like, people can literally spot it when you are like robotic. You want to do content now, you're not saying claim. No, be yourself. Now, I know be yourself is kind of vague, right? But be relaxed. Like, you are talking to people like you out there, so calm down. Now is AEO. Next we have AEO, Ask Engine Optimization. I already told you guys, I think in a video of mine that I did, that SEO and AEO, I told you the distinction and why you should position for these two whatever the case may be, we should position for both of them, right? Search engine optimization and ask engine optimization, because people are now searching for a lot of things on Perplexity, or what do you call it, Claude, ChatGPT, whatever, the Gemini, Google Assistant, and all of that. So all these people drag or get informations online through AI. So this is why you should also position for AI, so that when people are searching for your stuff, it easily pulls out. Like, AI is able to understand exactly what you are saying. That is why you have to be articulate even in how you talk, because when it comes to ask engine optimization, what you say also matters, because AI is intentionally like even picking the words that come out of your mouth. So if I should put text on screen that, oh, this content is for cleaning business owners, and I'm not saying cleaning business owners, it will not take my content to those people. So that's it about AEO. You have to position your content for AEO. And then finally, we have storytelling. One other thing I want to talk about in AEO before we go to storytelling, because it's another whole ball game on its own. AEO, when you talk to people, you need to know your target audience. And I'm not just saying about target audience. You need to know so much about your target audience. I think in the live, I made an example of, if you target real estate builders or estate builders, you need to know estate builders or estate managers, such that all your content on your page will be about these people. Or, like, if there's any other company now that positions for mothers in Ilorin, all their content on that page should be about mothers. How women are suffering, how women are not making it in life, how women, you have to talk to their pain points. Like, if you want to position for interior decors, all your content on your page, like, interior decorators should be intentionally following you because of the kind of content you are putting out for them. So if you're a cleaning business owner and you want to position for interior decorators, you have to talk about why some interior decorators have bad finishing, why some interior decorators are charging too cheap, why. So you have to say all these things, and at the end of the day, for example, if you say why interior decorations might be charging too cheap, you might want to talk about they forget to add the expenses of cleaning business into their code, because that is what brings their business out, the finishing of their business out. Even if it is a carousel, at the end of the carousel, you have to now say, and that is why we are here for you. We understand your pain, we understand your need. Your content has to be positioning. Your AEO and SEO has to position for this category of people, so that you just be there. You are not chasing them. They will come and meet you and be following you on your page. That is what it means to position for a particular target audience. Now, because I position for cleaning business owners like you, a lot of you see my page and you just follow my page. You just fall in love, because I know you, I am you, you are me. The same thing with mothers. When I was like aggressively creating content for mothers, I am mothers, mothers are me. I am women, women are me. I know everything about them. So another thing is that when you are creating target audience, please make sure there are people that you know. If you are an interior decorator and you want to start cleaning business, it's a good catch. You already know what these people go through. If you don't, then you need to go and do your research and know so much about your target audience like the back of your hand, so that all your content, they feel like, this person, I must follow this person. This person is the one that must clean my house. So you get me? Now, let's move to the baba, which is storytelling. Now, storytelling is another ballgame. If you can master it, you can win anything on the surface of earth. You probably heard a lot of people saying it, and I'm satisfying it that is really, really true. Now, when it comes to storytelling, there's a chart that I want to draw for you guys. So let me quickly draw the chart. Now, guys, I beg you, this is the most important, the most vital part of this class. You want to listen as attentive as possible. This is a chart for storytelling. Now, on this part, I don't know if you guys can see this very well. On this part, we have character or hero. Now, in every story, this even has to do with movies. In every story, there's always a character at the beginning of the story, right? There's somebody. There's a character. That is the mistake a lot of business owners in general make. We make ourselves, we the cleaning business owner, we make ourselves the character. We are not the hero of this story, of our brand story, or whatever content, whatever you're putting out. You should not be the hero. Somebody else, your audience should be the hero. The people you are trying to solve problem for, they are the hero. They are the hero. They are the character. Now, a hero in a movie, when you're watching a movie and the hero don't have any problem, they're just living their life, will the movie be interesting to you? No. Because the hero, the character has to have a problem. It has to have a cause. In a movie, if you go to cinema, you're watching any movie, the person that is the character of the movie needs to have a problem for you to feel intrigued. So once you introduce the character, you talk about, oh, there's somebody, her name is Mrs. Simi, her name is Mrs. Lola Kineko. So what's our business with Mrs. Lola? Mrs. Lola has to have a problem before we care. Now the problem is that she wants to reach the top of her ladder in the career. She wants to be very successful, but house chores. She's cleaning for home. Her children are this. She doesn't have time to do. That is the problem Miss Lola has. She has high BP. She has this one. She's not herself because she's almost running mental because she's doing everything by herself. That is the huge problem that Mrs. Lola have. And she's not thinking this is how she's been living her life. She doesn't have this amount in her account. She wants to become this. And if she doesn't change anything, nothing will change in the next 5 years, 10 years, whatever the case may be. Do you understand? So that is the case of Mrs. Lola. That is the problem of Mrs. Lola. The character must have a problem. So when you're talking about, when you're telling a story, the story have to have a character. A story, all these things, a story can be told even in 5 minutes or 1 minute, 2 minutes, depending on the level of your mastery when it comes to storytelling. So you already picked the character. There's this woman, her name is Mrs. Lola. She had this problem of managing her home alongside her business. This woman is very intelligent. Like, she's a very intelligent woman way back in her secondary school. But the only problem she has is that she had health issues. And I was one of the type that would say, you have to do everything has to be clean. Now she has to make sure that the house is clean. She also wanted to be successful. She has aged parents. And this husband, it's not as if he's rich. Oh. I'm telling you a story and you are enjoying it already because I introduced the problem. Now after the problem, a guide must always come in. A guide can be somebody that has passed through that problem before or somebody that has solution for her. Now in movies, you can, maybe in movies like Hunter, like, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Hunter. The guy is somebody that has passed through that, has done the Hunter game before. He now came in as the guide to guide that girl. Any movie, you can bring up any movie. I can literally break it down like this. 80% of movies, even the one that doesn't seem like it follows this format, it always follows this format. This is how they tell story. Script writers, this is what they use. So now you have the guide. The guide comes in, and the guide, after you talk about Mrs. Lola and all of that, and now say, until they now meet this girl, it's God that just sent this angel to them. Smart girl cleaning service. She met smart girl cleaning service, and her life just turned around. Like, hey, that is, I'm coming. That is the guide. The guide will have the solution. Either they will help you to achieve it, or they will help you create a plan that you can achieve it. Then when the guide surfaces as somebody that knows how to do that, or that can help you achieve what you are trying to achieve from this problem, they will now create a plan. That is where we have a plan here. So the guide must always have a plan. That is why I said you must always have an offer. Let me put the camera so that you can see it. You must always have an offer. What are you offering? Okay, and I say, Smart Cleaning Service now told Mrs. Ola that, see, this is what we'll do for you. I'll get a maid to come to your house 3 times in a week for just 65,000 naira. And that's all you need. She'll wash your clothes, she'll keep your house clean. Just make sure you have places that you put your things. She'll put them there. Your children, make sure they don't, and you can focus on your work. That is the plan, right? That is the offer. You must always have. Then the call to action is that she should make the payment, she should sign the agreement form, and we'll get started. So she has done the call to action. The maid is now coming to her house. Now, at the end of the day, after the call to action, I helped her to avoid failure. I have helped her to avoid the failure of dying young because of too much load, or from being a failure in life, or from not achieving her goals, or from not achieving her target, or from being a bad wife, or for being a bad mother, or for being a bad child to her parents, or for being a bad person to herself, not putting herself first, her success first. Do you understand? I've ever avoid the failure, and then it has now resulted into success. This is the pattern of how you tell stories. We can look at Funke Akindele's